So I've just watched the FNAF movie 2, so here are my thoughts about it. So I've already reviewed the first movie 2 years ago, back in 2023. And I thought that the first movie was okay. I didn't think that it was a masterpiece or anything like that. But it's still really enjoyable. And I even like rewatched the first movie so that I can, like prepare to watch the second one. And still, I do think that the first movie is okay. I don't think it's a masterpiece or anything like that. I think it's just fun, okay? But is the sequel better than the first movie? So before we get to, my critiques about this film, let's go to the things that I like about this movie. Now, the first thing that I liked about this movie is a really big one, actually, and that is the horror. I think that they actually kind of improved the horror a little bit because there are some, parts in the film where there are some, actual scary moments. But it's not like that type of scary where you just want to jump out of your seat or anything like that. But it's the kind of horror where you're like afraid or having like goosebumps or something like that. And there are some jump scares in this movie where I think they are actually really good. But not all the scary parts in this movie are like actual scary, which we get to later. And I think that's really good because the first movie, the horror is there, but it's not, perfect. But in this movie, I think they improved it a little bit. And the thing that I also like about this movie is the reference. I think there's a lot of reference and a lot of Easter eggs compared to the first movie. I think that the design and the look of the animatronics looked really, really amazing. It looked like they were straight out of the games. Especially the withered animatronics. They look exactly how they look in the games. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I just want to put this in here. But the movie somehow went from Five Nights at Freddy's to the freaking Conjuring. Which I don't know how I feel about this because, okay, I might be wrong here, but in the movie, okay, the puppet, yes, the puppet from the games possesses people, and I could be wrong here, but does the puppet actually like possessed people in the games? Like I don't remember the puppet possessing somebody. Like the only thing that I could see that the puppet can possess is the freaking Black Freddy or whatever that the puppet is in. Like I know that the puppet has like these magical powers where they can actually bring those animatronics to life, but I don't remember, the puppet, possessing somebody. I don't know, maybe that's a new thing that they put in this movie, but I don't know. I don't remember the puppet, like possessing someone. Because the movie just switched from Five Nights at Freddy's to the damn Conjuring. Oh, and also, another thing that I actually want to point out, which is a good thing, is William Afton. Even though William Afton does not have a lot of screen time, I think William Afton steals the show in my opinion. Matthew Lillard as, William Afton is really good in my opinion. But now, let's get to the things that I don't like about this movie. Now, the first major complaint, which is a big one actually, is the entire movie itself. The movie is, how should I say this? Not great, okay? It's not a good movie, but it is an enjoyable movie in my opinion. The FNAF movies are basically the American Godzilla movies. They're not meant to be a masterpiece or something like that. They're meant to be enjoyable and fun. Before you guys destroy me in the comments, I know that this movie is meant for, younger audience. And not just that, this movie is also for the die-hard FNAF fans, which I am, by the way. And I understand if people don't like this movie, which I can see why, because this movie is not meant for, like, a normal audience. This movie is meant for the die-hard FNAF fans. But as a FNAF fan, this movie is not great. But I could say it's enjoyable in my opinion. Like I had a lot of fun watching this movie because, there's a lot of, like references to the games and stuff like that because, I've been playing a lot of FNAF games when I was a kid and seeing, FNAF in the big screen is just a childhood dream come true. And I feel like the people that worked on this movie actually knows that this movie is terrible, but I don't think they even care because this movie is not meant to be a masterpiece. It's meant to be enjoyable and fun. And another complaint that I have with this movie is the horror. As much as I, like the horror in this movie because they improved it, there are still some parts in the movie where the horror is there, but it's not perfect. And there are some jump scares which were pretty predictable, and there are some like jump scares that are not well executed in my opinion, and there are a ton of scenes there where it's just not scary at all. So yeah, I don't think that this movie is really good. It's alright, but it's not the best movie. Like I said, this movie is not meant for movie critiques or anything like that. This movie is just meant for, FNAF fans and younger audience. But I do think that this movie is like a teensy bit better compared to the first movie because all the things that they changed. But that doesn't mean that the movie is good. So that's why I'm gonna give FNAF 2, if I'm being honest, I'm still gonna give it a 4. Even though I give it a 4, that doesn't mean that this movie is really good.